Okay. So in today's lecture, we are going to see in today's lecture how f of n varies. Okay, we will be looking at the algorithmic behavior. How how n, as per the number of inputs are increasing, the time required for the execution of algorithm is increasing. So f of n is going to vary. Okay, so we are going to see algorithm nature, how it is varying. As the number of inputs increases, the amount of the time required for the algorithm to execute will increase, and we will observe the behavior of f of n. Okay, so we, in short, we are going to consider this for time complexity calculation. Okay, so let's start. So suppose we have been given any problem which is computationally complex. Okay, which is computationally complex, given any kind of a problem to be solved. So we can solve it with the help of a program if we are writing it in any programming like language like C, C++, Java, Python, right? So but before implementation of that program, we need to write the blueprint. Okay, we need to write the blueprint, that is nothing but algorithm. Okay, algorithm are nothing but the steps of procedures, step by step execution steps which we are writing to solve any computational problem, right? So here, as we move ahead, the same problem which is given, okay, the same problem can be solved in multiple ways, right? We can write multiple algorithms for one particular problem which is to be solved. There can be more than one algorithm. Okay, so there are many methodologies or approaches or design thinking of programmer. That programmer, while writing the program, may think, yes, this algorithm is not perfect, or I am not going to get the output with the help of this algorithm. Let's, so he will just delete everything whatever he has written, and he can write it from scratch. So right, so for given problem, there can be more than one methodologies which exist, or more than one algorithm which can be written. So out of this algorithm, how we can say which algorithm works best? So based on its time and space complexity, we are going to analyze the algorithm, right? Analyze the algorithm. Okay, so for that, so let's see some of the examples how we can calculate the f of n for it. Okay, so let's here one algorithm one. Why we are saying algorithm? It's just a English some representation which is given. Okay, so algorithm, as we have discussed, we can write it in multiple ways, like flowchart, pseudocode language, okay, or natural language. So here I have here there is one just a simple algorithm which is given, just one function, you can say. Here a summation of integer n, that is the input, and this is output is instead of void it is int. Okay, and here we are going to accept the number of inputs. So here initially sum is equal to 0, and n into n plus 1 by 2, that is equal to s, sum. So return the sum. Okay, so from this we can make out that this particular statement, s is equal to n into n plus 1 by 2, is going to execute just one time. So here f of n, how many number of time it is going to get execute? It is just going to be number of that is o of 1, right? Big O of 1 means just one number of time. There are no such for loops. Okay, we are going to come to this big O also in the next lecture. Okay, so just it is going to just get executed O of 1 means one number of time. Here int s is equal to 0 also going to get executed one number of time. S is equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2. that is also going to get executed one time, and return s, return sum, that is also going to get executed one amount of time. Okay. Okay, whereas here algorithm 2, okay, what is there? Sum. Okay, again the same function sum. We are accepting the number of inputs and number of integers till what we are going to calculate the sum, right? And we are going to return the sum. So here int sum is equal to 0 initially, summation is equal to 0. For int I is equal to 1, I is going to vary till less than or equal to n. Means for example, I am accepting 10 integers, so till I is less than or equal to 10, it is going to vary, and then it is going to calculate this sum, right? But here it is for loop is there. Here you can observe for loop. So here s summation is equal to sum is plus I. Okay, sum is equal to sum plus I. S is equal to s plus I. So here it is, this line is going to get executed. Int s is equal to 0 is going to get executed for one number of time. Int I is equal to 1 to I is less than or equal to n, it is going to get executed for n number of times, right? Since this s is equal to s plus I, this is associated with for loop. We are not representing here any kind of what you can say braces. Okay, so this, only this single statement is associated with this for loop. So s is equal to s plus I, that is n. And whereas return s means sum, and this at the end it is going to return, means once this loop, this condition becomes false, once it will come out of this loop, that time it is going to return this sum value, right? So here how many number of times it is going to get executed? S is equal to 0, that is number of time. Int I is equal to 1 to n, that is n number of time. This s is equal to s plus I, that is n number of times, and return s is 1 number of time. So that is 1 plus n plus n plus 1. So f of n becomes 2n plus 2. So here we can say it is approximately equal to O of n. It is approximately equal to order of n. We are not talking here in terms of exact timing, approximations. This is approximations, right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so here there is one. Let's have a look at this. Okay, this is one of the important question. Okay, so here it has been asked to find out frequency count for the following code. Frequency count. Frequency count means what? How many number of times the loop has been executed, or what they are asking, how many number of times this printf will be executed, how many number of times this break will be executed. Okay, so you have to calculate the frequency count for the following code. Okay, so what it is given, x is equal to 5, y is equal to 5. Okay, that's okay, that is it will be executed one number of time. What about this? When I is equal to 2, for I is equal to 2, I is going to vary from 2 to less than or equal to x. X value is 5, right? So I can vary between 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Whereas j is equal to y, j is equal to y means 5. 5, this j should be greater than or equal to 0. J minus minus, right? So 5, how it is going to vary? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 0 also. Why? It is greater than or equal to 0. So J values can be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. But let's see the execution. How it is going to get executed. So any answers for this? See, for I is equal to 2, when I is equal to 2, it will check for the condition I is less than or equal to 5, right? Yes, this condition is true. It will enter into the loop. J is equal to 5, I is equal to 2, J is equal to 5. it will check for this condition. This condition is not getting satisfied. Okay, it will break, right? It will break means what? It will just come out of this loop, right? Now I will be incremented. I value is 3. It will check this value. 3 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, true. Okay, so it will go into this loop. Now j is again equal to 5 only. Okay, this loop has not executed only, na break झाला. So j is equal to 5. J is greater than or equal to 0. Yes, true. Okay, so I is equal to 3. J is equal to 5. Okay, so this is not true. It will break. I is equal to 4. Similarly, I is equal to 4. J is equal to 5. Okay, again this condition will not, it is not true. It will break. I is equal to 5. J is equal to 5. Yes, this is not true. I is equal to 5. J is equal to 5. So if 5 is equal to 5, print f xxs. So it is going to be staying in that loop, right? So it is going to stay in that loop. So j is now what? J was initially 5. 5 is greater than or equal to 0. J minus j value becomes 4. Okay, yes, it is true, but here I value has become 5, right? Because I has incremented, so 5 is not equal to 4. Break. Okay, so how many number of times break has executed here? See, initially I was equal to 2, j was equal to 5, so break. I was equal to 3, j was equal to 5, so break. I is equal to 4, j was equal to 5, so break. Then I is equal to 5, j is equal to 5, printf, it is going to stay into that loop, j will become 4, okay, I will become 5, then break. So 4 times break will be executed and printf will be executed for one number of time, right? Okay, so this was find out the frequency count. It is repeatedly asked in, this is again one gate question. So here it is repeatedly asked, you these kind of questions are given. Okay, next. Okay, for eyes, now this is another algorithm. It's very simple. You can look at this. Okay, you can look at this. For I is equal to 1 to n, okay, I plus plus, this is going to get executed for n number of times. J is equal to 1, j is less than or equal to I, j plus plus, this is going to get executed for n number of times. X is equal to x plus 1. Now, okay, here it is. Here I can say like this, or how many number of times this will be executed. So it is n into n. So that is f of n is equal to n square. So it is equal to f of n is equal to O of n square. Okay, so so this is f of n is equal to O of n square. Now what we are talking, this f of n, those who have joined late, see what we are talking here, f of n is nothing but as the number of inputs to the algorithm, given algorithm increases, the time required for the execution of algorithm also increases. So here we are going to study this f of n. F of n is nothing but it is depicting the algorithmic behavior in terms of number of input and time taken. So what we are saying here, as the number of inputs to the algorithm will increase, the amount of the time required for the algorithm to execute will also increase. So here we are depicting f of n. Fine. So this algorithmic behavior can be analyzed in terms of time complexity. Sorry. Algorithmic behavior can be analyzed in terms of time complexity. So for analyzing this time complexity, we are going to use asymptotic notations. Asymptotic notations. Okay, This asymptotic notations are big O, omega, and theta that we are going to study. But right now, what we have seen is that algorithmic behavior in terms of f of n. So here when we say it is n square, means this algorithm is going to vary in terms of order of n square. Okay. So that is the meaning of it. Fine. Let's move ahead. I hope you are understanding everything. I hope you are understanding. Am I audible? My screen is visible properly? Yes or no? Okay, fine. So now let's move ahead. This is another algorithm. Okay. So here you can say I is equal to 1. I is initialized to 1. While loop. This is while is entry controlled loop. Why it is called as entry control loop? Because we are checking for the condition at the beginning of the loop itself. If the condition is false here, it won't enter into the loop only. Okay, whereas do while loop is exit control loop. We are first executing and then we are checking for the condition. So do while loop will be executed at least once, whereas while loop will not be executed if the condition is false. Okay, so here I is equal to 1, yes 1, while I is less than or equal to n, right? So here how many number of times it is going to get executed, starting from 1 till n. So here instead of n plus 1 I should have written n over here, because 1 to n, okay, it is not like 0 to n, right? Then it would have been n plus 1, right? So here 1 less than or equal to n, so it is n. And here x is equal to x plus 1, so this will be executed n number of times, since it is belonging to this loop, right? These two statements, that's why it has been included in this braces. Okay, so here this will be also executed for n number of times, this will also be executed for n number of times. So when we try to calculate f of n out of this, so it will be n plus n plus n plus 2, that is 3n plus 2. So here it is of the form, here it is of the form f of n, sorry, is of the order of n. Okay, approximately. Okay, it is big O of n. We are going to see this. Okay, so it is O of n. So it is f of n is equal to 3n plus 2, but approximately it is of the order of n, considering the most significant term, right? Fine. Okay. Okay. So here there is one more example like this. I was about to show you this. Here one more example. For I is equal to 1 to n2. Okay, for I is equal to 1 to n2, it is going to get executed for n number of times. J is equal to I plus 1 to n2. See here, I was equal to 1, right? 1 to n. So here j is initialized from I plus 1 to n, means here 1 plus 1 means 2 to n. Okay, 2 to n2. 2 to n2 means it will be executed for n minus 1 number of times. Whereas here if you look this third nested loop, that is for k is assigned the value from j plus 1 to n2. Here k value will be what? If I value is 1, j value is 2, k value is 3, 3 to n plus 2 n do, right? 3 to n 3 to n do, right? So it is n minus 2 number of times, right? So here this will be n into n minus 1 into n minus 2. So this z has assigned the value of z plus 1. So this will be executed. This will be executed for n into n minus 1 into n minus 2. That is n into n minus 1 into n minus 2. When we expand this, we will be getting n cube minus 3n square plus 2n. So it is of the form, f of n is approximately equal to O of n cube, right? Okay, what is this O? Order of. So again we have discussed about this, right? N number of inputs and the time, right? So here it is how many number of times this will be executing. So it is n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 O of n cube. Okay, I hope everyone is understanding. Please tell me if you are not understanding anything. Okay. Okay, then there is one more question similar to what we have discussed last time. Now I want the answers from you people. Okay, we have already solved this kind of question. Find frequency count for the following. Okay, we have just now solved one that type of question. So how many number of times this will be executed, printf, and how many number of times this break will be executed? Any answers? See here, int a is equal to 10, b is equal to 10, a is equal to 10, right? So how the values of I is going to vary. I is going to start from 7. Okay, I is less than a. I is less than a means a value is 10. So how many number of times this will be executed? 7, 8, 9. I value will be 7, 8, 9. Okay, what about j? J is going to vary. J is going to vary from 10 to 10. Okay, Abhishek Joshi has answered 0 and someone else who has answered break is equal to 3 number of times. Uh, okay, getting the answers. J is equal to, I'll just explain. Okay, if you are getting the answers, just post me on the comment box, right? So here J is equal to 10, J is equal to B is equal to 10. So 10 is equal to 10. This condition is going to be true, right? So here, if I is less than J, yes, I is going to be of course less than J. I value is 7 initially, right? So 7 is less than 10. Okay, so here it is going to execute this printf DSF, yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. 7, I is equal to 7, J is equal to 10. So it is going to execute how many number of times? When I is equal to 7, I is equal to 7, J is equal to 10. So 7 is less than 10. So it will be printing the DSF, right? So now it is there in the loop. So J value is going to get increase. So if J is going to get increase like J is equal to 11, then it is not going to satisfy this condition, right? J is equal to B. So it will automatically break. So now I value becomes 8. When once I value becomes 8, so here 8 is less than 10, right? So printf DSF, second number of times it will be written, right? And still it is there in this loop, right? So here it will try to increment the value of J, but J value will not, this condition will not get satisfied. Why? Because J is equal to 10, B is also equal to 10. So it will break, it will come out of this loop. It will come out of this loop and it will, now I value becomes 9, 7, 8, 9. 9 is less than 9 is less than 10, right? So this condition is true, so DSF will be printed here. Okay, this condition is true. If condition is true, so DSF will be printed. So here this DSF will be printed for 3 number of times. What about break? It will not go only. Okay, so here break will be 0. Am I right? Yes. Okay, so DSF will be printed according to me, it will be printed for 3 number of time. Break will not be executed because here that condition is I is always going to be lesser than J. Okay, now let's move on here. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than or equal to n, I plus plus. I is going to be 0 to n. So now here from starting from 0, look at this, and here it is less than or equal to n. So here, sorry, I is equal to 0, I is less than or equal to n, so 0 to n, so that's why it is n plus 1. If it would have been 1 to n, 1 to n if it would have been, then it will be executed n number of times only, and see out hello hi, so this will be executed for n times, right? So here 0 to n, 0 to n, so that is n plus 1 and n. So when we sum this, so we will be getting f of n as equal to 3 of 3n plus 1, which is of the order, approximately O of n. Okay, fine. Okay, now this is again very simple. For I is equal to 0 to n, this will be executed for n. This is also executed for n. So a of I is equal to a of I plus a of j. This will be executed for n square. So it is of the order O of n square, which is f of n is equal to n square. Okay. Now what about this? This we have covered, this similar example we have covered here. So here it is for I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to n, I is equal to I into 2. So how I value is going to vary? 1, then 2, then 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2. This is 1 means what? 2 raised to 0, right? 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 4. So this is of the order 2 raised to k. So once it will be crossing this n, so it is of the form n is equal to 2 raised to k. When this loop will stop, when till I is less than or equal to n, it's okay. But once it is crossing, or once it is crossing this, so it will stop, right? Once I exceeds this, so n is equal to, it is of the form 2 raised to k, right? So if, sorry, so if it is of the form 2 raised to k is equal to n, if it is of the form n is equal to 2 raised to k, taking log on both the sides, like what we have done, sorry, n is equal to 2 raised to k, array, n is equal to 2 raised to k, taking log on both the sides, so we will be getting log n base 2 is equal to log 2 base 2. This k will come for multiplication. Okay, so log 2 base 2 is equal to k. So log 2 base 2 is equal to 1, right? K into 1 is equal to log n base 2. So the time complexity is becoming O of log n base 2, right? Okay, fine. Okay, now next is long factorial. We are trying to calculate the factorial of int n. So here the loop is given for int I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to n, I plus plus. How many number of times this loop will be executed? See, long f of f is equal to 1, this will be executed for one number of times. This is I is equal to 1 to n, so that is n plus 1. Why? Because not n plus 1, it will be n, and this will be also executed for n number of time, and return f, this is a single statement, so it will be executed for one number of times, so 2n plus 3, so it will be f of n is equal to 2n plus 3. So it is of the order, f of n is approximately equal to O of n. Okay. Okay, next loop is there. Next j is equal to 1, this will be for 1, I is less than or equal to n, so this is n number of times. This whatever statements are there, that is for n number of times, and I is equal to I plus 1, so it is again of the form f of n is equal to 2n plus 3. So which is of the form equal to, approximately equal to O of n. Okay, now we have to come to the comparison of complexities. Okay, this is very very important now. We have discussed now what is the aim of this is we have discussed till now lot many complexities we have calculated, and we have tried to analyze in terms of time complexity, right? So here we will be having the comparison of various complexities. So let's have a look at the numbers here. What are these numbers? See here, log of 3 is equal to 0.477. Okay, log of 4 is 0.602. Log of 5 is 0.698. Log 6 is 0.778. Okay, till it is 0.778, 0.698, 0.602, 0.477. Okay, till that it is lesser. Once log 11, look at this value. Log 11 is equal to 1.041. Okay, log 12 is equal to 1.79, log 13 1.11, and log 14 is 1.14. So have a look at this. So what we are trying to say here is that as the number of inputs are increasing to the algorithm, the time required to process those input values will also increase, right? It will also increase. So here when we say log 3 is 0.477, that's okay. Okay. Here n means 3. Okay, that is 3. So 3 is obviously it is going to be greater than log n. Okay, n square, 3 square, 9. Okay, 3 cube, 2 raised to 3. Okay, so here sometimes it depends on the values of n, right? It depends on the values of n. Now here if I say log 11 means value is log 11. See, this n log n is also going to be lesser than n. Till what time? See here, if n is equal to 3, if n is equal to 3, so it is 3 into log of 3. Log of 3 is 0.477. Since it is in decimal point, this n log n is again, it is obviously it is going to be lesser than this 3. Okay. But at certain point of time, at certain instance, okay, at certain instance, it is going to cross this graph. Okay, it is going to cross this graph. How it is going to cross these graphs? Let's assume value of n is equal to 11. So log 11 is 1.041. Okay, so 11 into 1.041, of course it is going to be greater than this 11 value. Okay, of course it is going to be greater than this 11 value. So at certain moment of time or at certain instance, for the value of n, let me annotate, for the value of, sorry, for the certain value of n0 which is greater than 1, it is going to exceed this value, right? And for this it depends on the n value. Yes, crossing will take place after number 1. So n0 has to be greater than 1, right? N0 has to be greater than 1. Here I have written the condition. N0 has to be greater than 1. It has to be greater than or equal to 1, right? So after certain point it will cross. So this is what graphical representation and graphical point of view we are going to study. Big O and other asymptotic omega and theta, other asymptotic notations. So what was my intention to make you study all these examples before starting with this asymptotic notation is that you will be able to analyze the algorithmic behavior in terms of time complexity. Okay. So here if you say, see, we have already seen this 2 raised to n, 2 raised to n, 2 raised to, when it is 0, 1, 2 raised to 1, 2, 2 raised to 2, 4, 2 raised to 3, 8, 2 raised to 4, 16, 2 raised to 5, 32, 2 raised to 664, right? And once 2 raised to 10, 1024. See, it is growing exponential. So whenever we are getting the time complexities in terms of this, these are going to be the highest time complexities. Highest amount of, it is going to take highest amount of the time. So here, okay, so 2 raised, whatever in terms of 2 raised to n or exponential time complexity, it is going to take maximum amount of this. Whereas logarithmic, it is going to be considered to be better algorithms compared to this, right? The algorithms which are taking the time complexities in terms of log n log n, and okay, so in terms of that, it is considered to be the better algorithm. Why? Because it is taking lesser amount of iterations. And whatever 2 raised to, what do you mean by this 2 raised to n? See, you are starting at one point, you are going somewhere, you are going, and then again there are several several looping structures or several branches you need to take. Again you go at one point, you just keep on going, you just keep on exploring, so there is no end to it. So this is nothing but exponential. Okay, this is of the time form exponential. You just don't know. Okay, you just don't know, you just keep on doing lot many iterations in order to take a perfect decision. You just keep on exploring, starting with 1, going to 4, 8, 16, then 32, then 64, like that. So here this exponential is going to be expensive operation in terms of algorithmic complexity, but logarithmic, it's considered to be better or best, you can say, in terms of complexities. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say with the help of these examples. Okay, now there is one question. Arrange the following complexities from smallest to longest. Okay, from smallest to longest. So how you are going to arrange these complexities, right? See here, it is n log n is there. Okay, n plus n square plus n cube, 2 raised to 4 and n square root of n. Now again the value depends on the value of n, right? It depends on the value of n, it depends, n log n, it depends on the value of, it may cross this also. Okay, if this value of log n exceeds, n value exceeds, so it may cross this graph, right? So here it again depends on the value of n. So what we are going to say, let's say here they have given only one constant. So when we go ahead with this 2 raised to 4, we try to arrange, right? 2 raised to 4 is 16, provided when it will be lesser than root n, when root n is going to be greater than 16. But yes or no? 2 raised to 4 is 16. 2 raised to 4 is 16, and root n has to be greater than 16, then only it will exceed. Otherwise, it will be okay. And n log n, now we have seen that 11 log 11, that can be greater than this. Okay, greater than this n also. Okay, so here it depends on the value of n. They have to provide the value of n. Okay, so n log n and n plus n square plus n cube. Now see here, you may think, yes, it is starting with n, so n square plus n cube. But no, what we have, what we have covered till now, if this f of n is equal to n plus n square plus n cube, means it is what? It is what is most significant term, it is n cube, right? So it is of the form this, rearranging it, n cube plus n square plus n. Okay, okay, the meeting will end for all participants in, okay, fine. Okay, so here f of n is nothing but of the form n cube plus n square plus n. So it is approximately of the form O of n cube. So this is going to consider the longest amount of time. So rearranging it, we will be getting, we will be getting, oh, okay. Yes, can you see? Can you see the screen? Yes? Okay. Sorry, there was some problem. I clicked on some other thing. Okay, so it is anyway. It is coming to end only. So it is square root of n less than or equal to less than 2 raised to 4 less than n log n. Let's assume n value is 16. If it is square root of 16, it is 4 less than 2 raised to 4. 16 into 16 into log of 16 base 2. So log of 16 base 2 is 4. 4 into 4, that is 16, and 2 raised to 4 is again 16 only. Okay, so we have to put here less than or equal to less than n cube plus n square plus n. Okay, that's the end. Next, in the next lecture, we will see asymptotic notations big O omega theta. So don't miss that. Okay, thank you.